Hello, good morning, bună dimineața. I want to say a few things before I start with my speech. First thing is I want to apologize to my colleague, my good friend Jazz here, who I make music with, because we have similar ideas, and I'm probably going to say 90% of the things he will say in Romanian. So if he's boring, it's because of me, so excuse it. Yeah. Second thing, and this is the true story, my mom says hello. I told her I was coming to Galaţi. She told me, oh, tell everybody I said hello. And I was like, okay, that'd be awkward, but I'm gonna do it because you told me to. So my mom says hello. Third thing is, I'm gonna ask this young lady here, what's your name? Laura. All right, I'm gonna ask Laura to help me, because when I get excited and when I start talking, I go real fast and all of a sudden you won't understand the whole speech. So I'm gonna ask Mr. Jazzy and Laura here, because she was sleeping on my chair when I got here. So this is the way to keep her up and keep me slowed down. So I'm gonna need you to be like, Archie, it's easy, I don't understand. So that's you and Job's responsibility while I'm up here. So first of all, I'm gonna tell my story. My name's Ken Archie, my full name, Ralph Ken Archie Jr., named after my dad, from Cleveland, Ohio. And so, how did I end up in Romania? Every time somebody see me, or even if, no matter what I'm doing, how did you get to Romania? So, when I was in the 12th grade, there was a Romanian student who came to America. A girl, of course, so that's the story, a girl. But I'm gonna explain a little bit more. And we went to prom, she became my girlfriend. She told me she lived in Oradea. My Romanian accent sucks, so just bear with me. Okay, Oradea.
It was actually very good.
All right, thank you. I've been practicing. So, and she told me, hey, come over here for the summer. I was very nervous. Before her, I didn't know anything about Romania. But I was like, okay, let me check it out. Came here, loved it. The food was good, people was nice. It was the greatest thing, one of the greatest things ever. It was better than Vienna, if that means anything to anybody. So, so I came here. I had fun, I left, I met a lot of friends, I went back home, started working. But I was always into music. Even when I was 8 years old, I began freestyling with guys on the corner that was maybe 5 years older than me. And they was telling me, hey man, you got a talent, you can do it. In the beginning, I kind of sucked, of course. And my friend, his name was Christopher Smith. I was 8, so he was like 12. He was cool to me. He was a cool guy. He was good with the ladies. You know, all the people liked him. I'm like, oh, I like him. And he chose me to be his friend. I was like his little brother. I didn't have any big brothers. So hung out with him. He taught me how to rap. And he said, oh, Kent, you good. Just at this moment, don't worry about making sense. Just make everything rhyme. The story doesn't have to make sense. Just make everything rhyme. So it sounds something like, oh, I'm in the car. Yeah, I'm going far. About to go to the bar, but I'm 8, I'm not going to a bar, but I was just trying to rhyme. So everything worked out and made sense. And my oldest sister, she used to, if anybody know Dr. Seuss, it's like an author, he writes kids' poems. And when I was about 6 years old, actually, Dr. Seuss was the first poet / rapper I fell in love with. Because as a kid, I was so like mind-boggled by how this guy could tell a story, make it rhyme, and it makes complete sense. Like to me, I can tell a story to you now. I'm talking to you, it makes sense, okay, we're going. But to take that story and to make it rhyme and still keep the substance and everything still is great, it's like, I was just, how can you do that? That's amazing. Like, how could you rhyme and still tell a perfect story? Like, I thought it was the coolest thing ever. So that's when I really fell in love with it. So I met Christopher Smith. He taught me how to rap, I hung out with him. So I got older. Went into middle school. In middle school, I was a shy kid. Like, actually, if I look back on my life, if somebody told me right now I'd be here like giving a speech to kids, I wouldn't believe it when I was like 13, 14. I thought they was just BSing me, you know? So I was a shy kid. I didn't do too much. I was quiet. I got along with everybody, but I just kept my distance and only had my core friends, like my 5 friends. But with those 5 friends, we would always make up songs or make raps or take songs on the radio already, change the words to make it funny. Like the hit me baby one more time, make it like an abusive story, you know, something like this. We didn't really like Britney Spears, so it was fun to do. So, and they was telling me, "Oh, you the best one out of us all. Like, you do it the most." So, it was a friend, Darnell, a girl, Ariel, and they were saying, "You can do this pretty good. Like, you should try to do it for real, Ken. Like, you do it fast, you think about it fast." And I'm like, oh, "Okay, the story, yeah, everybody do it. Another black guy from the hood can rap or play basketball. How surprising is that, you know?" So I tried to get away from that. Like, I was like, no, I'm gonna go to school. I'm gonna go to college and study something. So I get to high school. I finished C average. I really wasn't, I was a good student if I applied myself, but I really wasn't interested in anything they was giving me in school. So I graduated though. Went to college, and the good thing, my parents were always supportive of me, no matter what I did. If I wanted to be a ballerina, they would have said, "Hey, I don't know about that, but if that's what your heart says, go do it." So my mom and my dad, before I started to go to college, right after high school, I was like, all right, I'm going to college. All my friends was going to college. It sounded real cool, like, yeah, we're going to go, you know, you got the dorms, the whole thing you see on TV, that's what we expected. You up? I go, okay. So I was making sure you're not falling asleep with your eyes open. People are talented like that. So yeah, so I said, I'm gonna go to college. And they was like, look, you don't have to rush and go to college. Take your time. Take a year to chill, maybe figure something out. My dad, he has a home remodeling company. So till I was 16 or 14, I was working with my dad, remodeling homes, painting, putting towels on the floor. And I was real good at that too, but it just wasn't something I wanted to do. And he, you know, in his mind, oh, my son gonna take over the company and and we'll pass it down, but it wasn't my thing. So they just said, okay, take a break, work with your dad for a year, but I was set, no, I wanna do this, I wanna go to college and I wanna do something different. And she said, okay, go ahead, go to college. You know, I'm not gonna stop you from that. So I went to college. When I got to college, like the first day you talk to the counselor and things like this, it's like, oh, so what you want to study? What's the things you like? What you want to major in? Accounting, business, marketing, you know, she was throwing all these things at me. And I didn't know what to do. And then she could see on my face like I didn't have an idea of what I wanted to do. So she said, oh, well, maybe you might like communication. Also, what do you do with communication? Oh, you can do so many things. You can be a teacher, you can work for a business and like help them with some strategies. You can be a spokesperson for some people in the business, Okay, I'm gonna do that because at least I got some options in case after I graduate, I might find something I like. Little did I know, like maybe a little in the middle of the semester, we was making jokes like, oh, what you study? Is it communication? Yeah, I study communication. You didn't know what you wanted to do, huh? Yeah, well, how you know that? Because you study communication. So that was the joke. And so maybe after my first year, I did pretty good. But then the second year, it got kind of boring. I wasn't engaging myself in any of the classes. Only a few of my classes I really liked, and that was film directing, public speaking, so I must have learned something, because I got everybody on my side right now. But public speaking I like. And but some classes, English was real good. I liked English, learning literature. Math I was okay in, but what was it? Astrology? No. Couldn't deal with that, stars and stuff. But it was alright, and I was starting to feel like I'm wasting my time here. I didn't like what I was doing. My parents could see it on my face, like, oh, you let your grades go down. Why you not taking care of your grades? I'm like, I'll work on it, no problem, I get it. But maybe at the second year of college, I made a decision to stop being afraid. And as I give my speech, there's some pointers I want to land on to better help, and maybe it can stick in your head and help you in your life. So I finally decided not to be afraid. And my mom always told me, FEAR is an acronym, basically saying fear, F-E-A-R, right? That's how you spell it. So it means false evidence appearing real. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool how you set that up. And she was like, yeah, so it's just something that you make it up in your head. It doesn't exist. It hasn't happened yet. It could possibly, who knows? Anything's possible, but it hasn't even happened yet. And you're building like making a real life decision on a thing that's made up, if you understand what I mean. So I was watching a movie with Will Smith and his son. I think it's called After Earth in English, but I think in Romania it's like 2000 After Earth or something like this. And it was a real cool thing he said in the movie to his son. It was the moment where they got to Earth, the plane crashed or something like this, He hurt his leg, so he couldn't go out. All right, if y'all didn't see the movie, I won't give the ending. I'm gonna just give you this part. But he got in an accident, so his son had to go out and do everything, get the medicine, get the food, because they would starve otherwise. And the point of the movie was in the future. I don't know how, like, let's say Star Trek time. So they was in the future, and Earth was back to its normal habitat, no humans, just, what was it, like, I don't know, all of it. Actually, it was like North America, but like, without buildings. It's like the forest with cougars and bears and, oh my, yeah. So anyways, that was cool, and he landed there. His son had to go out, and his son was training to be a soldier. He wanted to be a soldier like his dad. So he was training to be a soldier, but he was still too young. He wasn't ready, but he was ready to go out there and fight, but his dad knew he wasn't ready yet. And there was these aliens who could sense a human's fear. And they couldn't see you with their eyes like I see you now. It was, they could just feel the fear, the hormones coming off. So the dad was considered, Will Smith, was considered, I think it was a ghost. He would go ghost, because they couldn't see him because he wasn't afraid of them anymore. So he could just walk up to one and kill it, and they wouldn't know he was standing next to him. So the son asked the father, Will Smith, you know, how did you become ghost? How did you know you could be invisible to these creatures? He said, well, at a moment when one of these creatures stabbed me, I was on the ground, underwater, bleeding, and also drowning. And at this moment, I let go of all my fears. I just thought about you, your mom, your sister, and I was just in a peaceful state of mind. And once I noticed that the creature couldn't see me or wouldn't eat me, that's when I was able to, like, defend myself, stab it, and kill it. But he was saying to his son, he realized what I said, fear is just it's almost close to insanity, because you believe in something that hasn't even occurred yet, and you shape your world around a thing that's just made up in your mind. So that's why I say fear is very powerful, because if you let that control you, you can just go downhill from your life. And once I think that's like one of the biggest things you need to do to be a leader, to break that fear of somebody judging you, somebody saying, oh, you're not good enough, or why are you even doing that, or that's stupid, or it's not a good idea. And we let our parents, our friends, some of our family members, like, dictate what we do in life because of this fear of being, like, different or trying or failing. My fear was actually success. Like, oh, what if I really do make it in music? Like, people will treat me different. Like, I won't have any friends. Maybe I can't walk on the street. Like, I don't want that lifestyle. That's scary. So fear is a very big thing. And I think if people can just grasp hold of, like, what they truly believe and what they want to do, and you get rid of that fear, that is, like, the biggest step, I think, to going forward. So when I was in college 2 years, me knowing I really want to do music, ever since in my life, since I was 8, doing it, freestyling with my friends, I knew I wanted to do it. It was always in my heart. I had a passion for it. I had a talent for it. And I was like, okay, 2 years of school. And this was my fear with the school. 2 years of college. What are people going to say about me? Oh, you dropped out. You couldn't do it. You wasn't smart enough. You know, and I was thinking this, like, oh, this is what everybody going to say about me. So I took, summer came, so we had a break, and I could have did my fifth semester. And my mom said, so what you want to do? I said, I'm not gonna go back to school. I'm gonna actually try to do this music thing. I really like it, I'm really good at it. I think if I meet the right people, it'll work out. She's like, okay, and this is what I'm saying. A lot of people don't have the support from the parents, and that's where the course starts. Maybe some of your parents don't allow you to do the things you want to do. And it's very hard to break apart from that, because these are the people who raised you, who gave you all your, like, ideas and built you as a dog. So, but sometimes you might have to go against your parents if you really love what you want to do. So I told them, so luckily I had parents that support me, like I said, ballerina. So, they said, okay, that's what you want to do? Well, show us you're serious about it at least. Like, what are you gonna do? What are your steps? I really didn't know what the steps was. I just knew I knew how to sing. I didn't know any studios. I didn't know anybody. But the funny thing is, when you make a decision to actually do something that you love or you really wanna do, the universe kind of works in a weird way that people just get placed in your life. Like, I was at a coffee shop. You might meet a guy who just do what you do, or might be on the same level. And that's how it started working. So I said, okay, I want to sing. I had a friend, he wanted to sing also. He didn't take it as serious as me, but he liked that I was doing it. We were best friends, so he did it with me. But through him, his dad knew a guy that worked with him at a furniture shop. And this guy wanted to start a label with some new talent. So he said, hey, you and your friend rap, right? I met this guy, he'd been working with me for a couple years. He said he wanted to start like a music entertainment thing. You should go meet him. So we met this guy, his name Lon Robinson. He started TCF movement, Team Cleveland's Finest. So we met this guy. He gave me a lot of good shows. I did, if you ever heard of Machine Gun Kelly, he's pretty popular now, a guy from Cleveland. We did a show with him. We did a show with Cassidy, Tech Nine, who else? 88 Keys, and these was like some big names like we was opening up for through him. And we just had these small shows, and it was just so crazy to me how like in a year I just started doing shows, going to small cities around my major city. And so my mom was like, oh, that's cool. They was always supportive. They were like my biggest fans. I got 4 brothers and 4 sisters, by the way, and I'm the oldest. So yeah, so like the Brady Bunch, Full House, all that stuff. So they would always come support me. They would be in the crowd cheering for me, you know, singing my name. And so slowly it became real, and I started imagining myself doing this, being on stage, and this felt more real more since I took these steps to become a artist. So, but another thing is, don't get disappointed. Everybody who comes in your life isn't like a lifetime partner or friend. Sometimes they're there for that moment to help you get to the next step, and you just move on. So, consequently, I started to learn that Lon didn't take it as serious as I took it. He wanted to do it, but he wasn't doing the things to make it more better or improve. So I took a break from music because I came back to Romania, visit some friends, and I met a girl while traveling. I think it was the same summer I said I wasn't going to go to school. 1 year I did music, and then I came back to Romania to take a break. So, yeah, Romania to take a break. I know that's probably, you sound weird, like I'm gonna go vacation in Romania. It's like the new Ibiza or something, but it was cool, I liked it here. You had the seaside, the mountains, and so I came here, and I met a girl, and we started talking, dating, whatever, and I liked her a lot, so I was like, you know what? I come there and I stopped for a year, because she had 1 more year to finish her master's in school. So I came back to Romania, okay, I stay here, I work here. And the funny thing is, I came here with my salary from back home, working a normal job. And I was like, oh, I don't know why everybody's complaining. The prices are low, it's not so bad here, what's the problem? And then I moved here and worked here, and I realized like, oh, okay, I got it now. This is a problem here. Need to be fixed fast, ASAP. So I started working here, and I was living here, and I didn't want to do music in Romania at all, to be completely honest. I thought it was weird to do. I'm like, I speak English, I don't know Romanian, people won't take me serious, I might just look like a joke. That's another fear thing, and I had to conquer that. But the good thing was, I had no interest to do it here in Romania. I was just gonna stay here for a year, away from my ex-girlfriend. Now, I'm talking present tense. So my ex-girlfriend, I was gonna wait for her to finish school, and we would go back to America, and I'd pick up where I left off. But life works in a funny way where, like, where's the joke? If you want to make God laugh, make plans. Basically meaning it don't always work out. You know, there's other things set up for you. So throughout my year of being here, like halfway throughout the year, 4 years or 4 months into being here, I met a friend, actually from Galaţi, through my ex-girlfriend, and his name was George. And he knew that I rapped. We played basketball together. So we played basketball. He's like, oh, you make music, huh? Yeah, I make music. Oh, let me see some of your stuff. I had a few songs on YouTube. He's like, oh, you're pretty good, man. You want to do a show here just for fun? I think people would like you. Okay, let's do a song here, a show here. And he said, I know a guy who know a guy. You know how that works. So he introduced me to a guy named Clue, who is actually now a member of our Six Sound crew that me and Jazz started. So he introduced me to Clue and a producer, Havana, and they were friends. He said, hey, I make beats, you want to do a collaboration for the show? You do some songs, we do a song together. Cool, no problem. So we did the song together. Now while this is stirring up, maybe 2 weeks before, I met Cosmin Demente, aka Jazz O. And the weirdest way I met him, I was working, okay, so I had like the crappiest jobs here. I was working as a fresh juice maker at a hotel. Like, so this is why I know how to say fresco de portocale, you know? Thank you, I've been practicing. So look, I was working at a fresh juice stand in a hotel. And I met a Canadian guy, and you know, I look completely different than everybody, so they know I'm not from here most of the time. And they always ask me, oh, where are you from, where are you from? And I hear people accents, different places, oh, that's Italy, that's Germany. And I heard a guy who sounded American. I said, oh, you American? He was like, oh, no, I'm Canadian. I said, okay, just the juice and walk away. No, but he was a nice guy, so we hung out. And he actually knew jazz, so he said, oh, I know a guy who do music too. He's more of a punk kind of guy, a rocker kind of guy, but y'all might like each other. I'll introduce you to him. But it wasn't nothing about making music together or a group. He just said it was a cool guy. I know he speaks pretty good English. Y'all might get along well. So we went to a terrace somewhere in Bucharest.
Actors Cafe.
No, it was Tino Letului.
Yeah, Actors Cafe.
Oh, that's the name of it? We argue about things that we agree on a lot. That's a weird thing. So anyways, language is barrier, I guess. So anyways, we met at the cafe, and the funny thing is, it was a weird situation. I don't even know if I should explain it, but I will try. So the guy, Adam, we found out was like a douchebag. He had a girlfriend, a secretary, and a mistress all at the same table with us at the same time, and everybody was okay with it but the girlfriend. So yeah, it was a weird situation. But so it was my ex-girlfriend, his brothel, Jazz, and me. And it was funny because during the conversation, we was me and him would talk. Oh, where you from? Oh, I'm from the States. Oh, I'm from Galaţi. Oh, what music you like? And we was, you know, getting along. We like pretty much the same groups. He was pretty shocked that I knew who Prodigy was. He's like, oh, you like Prodigy? Yeah, they good. Oh, okay. I just don't listen to hip hop, Jazz. Okay, don't stereotype me. So we talked, and then we realized like 20 minutes into our conversation, we were just talking and everybody were listening to what we were saying. And one of the girls who wasn't a part of the brothel, one of the friends, she said, guys, there's girls at the table. And we was like, well, join the conversation. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm having a good time with this guy. We, you know, speaking. And so from that day on, we said, hey, let's meet up. Let's make some music just for fun. You know, I'm not doing nothing. I was here for about half a year. And actually, when I write and sing or do songs, I feel like weight off my shoulder. I feel good about myself. I like writing down lyrics and expressing myself through the songs. So I said, cool, that'd be a good thing. I've been working at a fresh juice stand. I got a lot of things to say right now about my life. So we did, we met up, we wrote some songs. It was pretty cool. We was trying to start, we were meeting a few people. And so at the same time, I met the guys, Clue in Havana, and we had the show. He recently, I'm gonna tell the story, because I just found out today the story he told me, our very first show that I did not know about, that he was so nervous he felt like he was gonna throw up. But he kept it cool. I thought everything was good. He's like, yeah, I go to acting school. It's all good, man. We gonna do the show, you know, no problem. Like, this was his swag he had on. Little did I know, in the inside, he was a little boy, like, oh my God, so where's the bathroom? So, I just thought that was funny, because I always see him very like, you know, yeah, I got everything under control, and he told me his weak moment. So I was like, oh, cool, I didn't know that. Thanks for sharing that. We got closer on the train ride here.
You gotta share with everybody.
Hey, we trying to build, see, but he was afraid, but he still pushed through and made a good show that night. Oh, the show was bad, but I was convinced, no, don't quit, man. You got it, you good, you can do this, don't worry. I got your back, homie. And he kept doing the amazing now. So we had our first show, that was fun, and slowly, we just, how am I doing on time? Because I had a feeling that I would go too far, and I would be like talking in it for an hour, like, yeah, so it's like tomorrow. Yeah, then yesterday, we went to the market, and so I don't want to, how many minutes I got?
5 more minutes.
Seriously?
Wrap it up.
Okay, I gotta pull out my paper now. I done went over the limit. Golly, I didn't expect this to happen. So let me hear some pointers before I stop. Golly, yes. Okay, so, all right, so I'm gonna go real fast with my 5 minutes. So hard work versus talent. I believe 99.99999% of the time, hard work will always outdo talent. And it's a good thing to have a talent for something. Don't get me wrong, but the talent will not get you where you need to be. It's that work ethic, it's that hard drive to have. For example, it was a story about Mike Tyson. I think between him and Ali, I don't know who the greatest, but they both good. So Mike Tyson, I was watching a documentary about him. And his coach would, it was an Italian guy. He really cared about him. He would stay with the coach. It was like a family. And the coach had him in the gym all day. hustle, go to sleep. His diet was right. He even said in this, while he was boxing, it was about like a 6-month training. So through the whole 6 months, no drinking, no sex, no nothing. He was very serious about his goals. Like, he wanted to be the champion. And I seen that he had, okay, so in boxing, you know, you gotta bob and weave to duck the opponent's punches. You don't want to get hit in the face. That's not the point of boxing. So it's a strip, a line. And to teach the boxers, they gotta dip under the strip, dip back under, and dip back under, just to work on their, what's the word? I'm losing.
Bobbing?
Bobbing, there we go. So you got to work on your bob and your weave. For an hour, he was just standing on a row, going across a row. 1, 2, 1, 2, and I do it terribly. So imagine Mike Tyson with his speed and agility just, and to me, he was doing amazing. And the coach said, hey, you did it wrong right there. You went a little bit too far on the left. Get back right. But he did good. Why are you being so hard on Mike Tyson? But he was great. And you've seen Mike Tyson boxing matches. He would just take his opponents out in seconds. And the moment he lost is the moment he decided to let his talent do the work versus the hard work. And he said, oh, I didn't train. His coach died. He had new coaches, people who really didn't care about him. They just wanted his money. And he said, okay, forget it. I'm gonna drink before the fight. I'm good. And nobody can stop me. I'm the best. You know, this kind of arrogant attitude. I'm so good, it's all right. Nobody can touch me. And that's where you set yourself up to fail. Because that was his first fight. And he admitted in his documentary, I didn't take it serious. I didn't take my opponent serious. I didn't work hard. I barely trained. I was drinking. I was out that night. And that was his first loss and downhill from there. But at least he got into the movie Hangover. That was a good step up. So that worked out for him. But okay, so that's hard work versus talent. A passion and choice. Okay, so passion. Anything you do in life, I believe you should really love it. Like, for example, I work in the kitchen as a chef, and I really like it. It's very artsy, you know. It's still a form of art, you know, culinary art. And so I make dishes, I cook. He always make a joke like, oh, what you doing today? Making a strudel mede, a strudel bronzer? Yeah, Jazz, I am. So, you know, and I cook in the kitchen and it's nice and I have fun with it, but music is such a passion for me. Like, it's almost a religion, if you say, like something that just uplifts me. So I work 10 hours in the kitchen because kitchen schedules are weird. So 2 days, 10 hours each. So that's 20 hours altogether. I barely sleep. So one day I had a full schedule. What was it? So 10 hours in the kitchen on Friday. At night, I go to the club to MC. That's another 4 hours. So from like 12 o'clock to 4 o'clock in the morning, I was MCing. I went to sleep, woke back up because I had a photo shoot to do with a friend who had a clothing line. So I wake up at 11, very tired, but drink an energy drink, you all good. So I take the photo shoot. I'm so tired that I'm shaking like this. It was the weirdest thing. And I'm just like, whoa, I need to eat something. I forgot that I didn't eat because I was so caught up in what I was doing. I was like excited about it. Oh, I MC, I have a photo shoot. I know I'm talking fast, but I got a little bit of time right now. So then I do the photo shoot. After this, it was a event, Street Heroes, if you ever heard of it. It was like a basketball rapper 3-on-3 thing. And that was cool. So I went, I played basketball with Doc, Raku, what's the producer name? Mortal Skills. It was pretty cool. So I did that. That was like around 6. But the thing is, I had no break. Everything was like, okay, leave there, go here. Leave there, go here. I had to MC the next night with Jazz. So after I left basketball, all I could do, I took 3 showers that day. That was like a record for me. Like, it was like kitchen shower, photo shoot sweat shower, basketball sweat shower, go to the club shower. It was weird. So anyways, I did that, and I get to the club, and I was with my girlfriend. I'm just sitting on the couch like this. I'm like done. It was like, I don't know how many hours I did, but I just was like, okay, I'm gonna pull this together. I gotta do something for another 5 hours, like just sing on the microphone. So she's like, oh baby, don't worry, you'll be okay. Just chill, you know how it is. I'm like, yeah, and Jazz is looking at me like, oh, you tired, huh? I said, yeah, I'm tired. But as soon as the music turned on, it was like I must have did coke. The music was my cocaine, actually, let's say. Because when the music came on, the tiredness went away. It was like, okay, let's go. And it was instant. It was a click, like an adrenaline rush. And I stayed up and I couldn't believe how, you know, I just was ready to fall asleep, and he know I can fall asleep on the spot. I was ready to fall asleep, right? Yeah. I was ready to fall asleep, and as soon as the music turned on, and I heard that beat, that BPM, the bass, the treble, all of this, and it was like nothing mattered anymore, because I love doing this so much. that it was just like, okay, let's go. It's my time, it's the spot. So I ran in there. And that's why I say, have a passion for whatever you're doing, because it never feels like work. It's always a pleasure to do it. At least till now, maybe 20 years I might hate it. But the point is, right now it's a pleasure to do it. It doesn't feel like work. I'm having so much fun. I'm enjoying myself. I'm really like excited about it. So that's the great thing. And the last thing I want to say before I leave, success to me is not like for a chosen few or the special people, or you was born a star. I don't believe none of that. I believe success is a choice. You have, like the last Nike video said, you have to decide to be. The reason that success seems so impossible, because it's so hard, and nobody want to take the hard route. For example, if you have a dream and don't know how to get there, it's easy to give up and say, hey, I'm gonna just go to school and do this because I know what that is. I know the route to that. I know how to be an accountant. You go to school, you do this class, and then you learn the trade and you go do it. So that's the easy route out. And people are more comfortable with doing this. They don't want to be like, oh, how do I figure this out? What I gotta do to get here? Nah, it's too hard. I know this way. I know this path. Nobody want to walk through the forest. You want to take the nice, scenic route, because you don't know what might come and hit you in the head. So that's why I say it's a choice. It's a decision to be successful. It's not no miracle thing that everybody can't reach. All you have to do is say, hey, I want to be this. And I decided back when I was in college, not knowing where it would take me, I didn't know, I was so excited to come here to speak to you guys. I think I was more excited to speak to you than you were excited to see me speak to y'all. I was just like, oh, I get to talk to people and tell my story and try to motivate somebody to do exactly what they love to do. And I know everybody probably ain't feeling me. It's probably a guy in the back, like, oh, I don't want to hear this guy talk about his life. I got my own problems, man. But it might be a few people who be like, oh yeah, that's cool, I like that, So if I can get even just 2 people to be like, you know what, today I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna do what I want to do. I mean, not what I want to do, you can go to jail with that, but I'm gonna do the best thing that I can for myself to improve my life. And it's weird because, you always hear the person on the mic say, hey, if it can happen to me, it can happen to you too. But now that I'm in this position, I'm thinking whoa, if it can happen to me, it can happen to you, because I didn't know what I was doing. And I just said, you know what? All right, let's go. Don't be afraid. Make that choice to work hard. Put the best effort into it. And if you believe, if you put 100% into it, it will turn out the way you want it to be. I think 99.999% of the time, it's a fail-safe thing, man. You really got to take yourself serious. That's how Jazz, one of his models, choose to take yourself serious, and other people will take you serious. And forgive me, Jazz, for taking your taking part of your speech. So now I apologize if Jazz is bored because I took his ideas, but it's okay. We do this with each other. And I just want to say, guys, whenever you feel down, whenever you feel like you can't do it, it's always something that you can look forward to. You know what? I ain't gonna give up today. I'm gonna do an extra 100 push-ups. I'm gonna go and write this song. It was a funny joke. I'm gonna get off because I'm 10 minutes over, I think. Real quick. All right, in the movies, you might hear a door slam, a car door slam, footsteps. Those things aren't always on the spot. Just because that door slam don't mean that car door slam and that's what you heard. There are people in a studio, a production sound studio, who are making okay, that's the door slam, to make it more real so you can hear it, because otherwise with the camera and the film, it don't pick up the sound. And in my head, I'm like, who was the guy that was like, I like sound so much, I want to make it sound better? You're like, how did you even think of that job? What is wrong with you? You like sound, and you just want to be in the studio making sure all the sounds are correct? That's not my thing, I'm not into that. But it's a guy who was very passionate about sound, and he I can make that door sound more realistic. I can make the rev of the engine sound better. And that's what he chose to do. I don't know the path to that. I couldn't give you the first step to get to that point. But what I'm saying, that guy took himself serious enough to say, yeah, I'm a sound engineer, and what? I make the sounds better in the movie so you can enjoy them. You have anything to say? Okay. Get the popcorn in the soup. So that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. Take yourself serious enough to say, hey, I'm a sound engineer and I don't have a problem with that. I make great sounds in movies. That's what I do. I'm an MC. Okay, yeah, typical. I'm rap, I'm black out, but I love doing it and that's what I do. So take yourself serious. don't be afraid and choose to succeed. And that's all I can give y'all for today. Thank you so very much for having me to come here and speak with y'all. Thank you.